Playing from Francois Home.
Is that always kicking?
Woo! Okay. Dave, how you doing?
Yeah, fabulous.
I know you're doing better than that because somebody told me they went for a really long bike ride today and that would fill me with nothing but joy and happiness.
That was yesterday.
You didn't go for one today?
No.
Well, that's all right because it means that you're here. Ladies and gentlemen.
Recuperate your muscles.
Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest, the mightiest episode of The Hunters That Never Give Up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of the Boys from Bossk. My name's CJ Rock.
Yeah, you rock.
And your name is?
Just Dave.
It's Big Dave. It's in big letters behind you. You're the Big Dave, the man of legend.
You should say that to my old boss then.
No, I don't like your old boss. Your boss didn't turn around.
No, I don't either. But we're not going to go there.
He literally didn't do it. So no, I'm not a big fan. No. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of the Boys from Bossk. Thank you for joining us. I know it's been a wild and long week for some of you, but you're here with us again as always. Now, it's been. I haven't been to the cinema. There's lots of films I'm going to catch up on and review for you guys as we go along. But I just haven't had a chance to hit the.
Much out?
There
been much out?
Well, I haven't seen. What should we call it? Old Sonic came out. Sonic 2.
Doesn't interest me until it's on
quite
TV.
like the first one. And then what else was out? I think Fabulous Beasts, Fantastic Beasts, Fabulous Beasts.
So kids films.
Fantastic Beasts 3. Well, no, Fantastic Beasts is more a family thing as opposed to straight up kids film. Like to me, a kids film.
Yeah, but it's so Sonic then, isn't it?
Yeah, Sonic's sort of kids film.
But what I'm saying, it's not for adults. It's not for people like, oh, I'm going to go and watch Sonic the Hedgehog today, and you get ribbed by all your mates in the pub.
Really, your mates do that to you?
Well, I wouldn't tell them.
Dave, if you've got mates that do that to you, you tell me. Yeah, you're a nerd. Live it, okay? Don't get humiliated by your mates in no pub. Not having that. Who are they? Oh, what, Dave? What? You're a big kid because you went to see Sonic the Hedgehog. And what?
Oh, I haven't seen Sonic the Hedgehog because I won't waste my money to watch it.
Oh, the first one was really. Didn't you watch the first one?
Yeah, I watched it the other day. Actually, it was on TV.
Yeah, it's a really good. That's quite a decent out. Out of all the movie.
Yeah, but it's not for me.
It's a film.
Yeah, it's watchable. It's not for me.
All right, I'm not having this. You enjoyed it, didn't you? You did.
No, because I've seen it before, so I didn't really pay that much attention to it. It was just on.
This. I think Dave.
But I said before, I don't really like Jim Carrey. It's the only thing.
I just don't like him.
Carrey, he's annoying.
He's grown on me. I think he's really, really grown on me in recent years. Especially
because he hasn't been on the screen for a few years. That's why.
No, because I was watching the old stuff, like Something About Mary, which is one when he's a cop.
Me, Myself, and Irene. But that's his only good film, in my eyes.
No,
that freaky one, The Truman Show.
And you didn't like what was it? The Pet Detective?
No.
Ace Ventura. You never liked Ace Ventura?
No. That's where I've hated him from. Things like that. Oh, wow. Ace Ventura, The Mask, stuff like that. It's just not a cable guy.
Really good. And apparently, he ups his game in Sonic 2, and that's 2 computer game movies in a row that have worked, and partly because of Jim Carrey. I would say that's an impressive feat. Like, people seem happy with it. It's had good reviews. It killed Morbius at the box office.
Good luck to them.
Huh?
It's just not for me.
I don't believe you. I think you're just scared of being ribbed by your mates in the pub.
No, well, you're one of them.
I would never.
I
review more for watching Fast and Furious than I'd ever do for watching. And I go to Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but all the lads in the pub like all that fast car stuff, so that's all right.
I'm not buying this. I'm not buying it. But anyway, where were we? So it's been like a lot happens in a week. Not much going on, but a lot happened. Not many releases. Obviously, fantastic beats. I think this week something else came out, which I've completely forgotten, which is really, really bad. But I'll get Box Office Mojo up in a bit. But it's been a hectic week for me because I've been back at work. So it's in a way it's been
Monday.
harder to keep track of stuff. But
Monday.
what's that?
Can't be a hectic week. It's the first day of the week.
Well, like this week up until now, it's been a hectic week. But I think I'm sure, right, Bad Guys, that was it. Bad Guys is taking the top spot in the States at least. So this week it toppled Sonic.
What's that? Never even heard of it.
It's animated that's coming out, so you probably won't enjoy it.
Oh, another one.
It's a heist movie, so it's an animated heist movie with bad guys. So you got the usual
Kids film.
Who they always use as a bad guy to lead a bad guy team? A wolf again.
And don't tell me it's going to be Idris Elba.
Do you know what? That'd be fantastic if it was. I'd definitely watch it at that point, but I don't think Idris is that.
It's always an Englishman that's the bad guy. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, because they're the
especially in America.
Villains. They're some of the biggest villains of history, aren't they? There we go. Cast. No, it's actually Sam Rockwell, and I know you like a bit of Sam Rockwell.
He's okay.
Yeah. Oh no, you won't like the second one.
Go on then.
Aquafina.
Yeah, she's like Jim Carrey for me. No, she's like Jim Carrey for me.
Okay.
She can make a good film, but like she was good in Shang-Chi. But you watch her in anything else, she's just so fucking annoying.
Well, it's got the other. I don't. You might recognize Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, he's in everything as well. Travel Man.
And then they've got the only other person.
Was he in Doctor Who? Mandalorian.
No, he was in that really bad Overwatch film.
Oh yeah, but he was also in Mandalorian. He was the robot.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Oh wow. All right. Well, no, he's done all right there, then, hasn't he? He's been trying to break into the American market for ages. That's not bad. And
maybe I see him as a Doctor Who because of the way he dresses and acts.
Well, he was down for the role apparently at one point.
I think he should be Doctor Who.
And then Craig Robinson's are probably the only person you might. Do you know Anthony Ramos? You don't know? No. Zazie Beetz. Do you know? I don't know. Yeah.
I'll probably do if I see their faces. I don't
and then,
know people by name.
Craig Robinson, because he's like the black mate of all the guys who made this. This is the end. The only black guy in This Is the End. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Craig Robinson.
Yeah. Cool dude.
He is rather cool. Right, so yeah, that was it.
That guy. Yeah, I know who he is now.
Bad Guys is taking over the box office in the States. So it's pretty quiet overall. But what's been interesting about that, and I have mentioned it before, but the top films over the past couple of months for this year have been Sony and Paramount films. And I think it's kind of showing, I've said it before, it's put them in a really good position in the fact that, like, Sony at least doesn't have a streaming service. Paramount's got Paramount Plus coming out soon. But Sony doesn't have a streaming service, and that puts Sony in I think a really, really good position that it can play off a lot of the other streaming services. So HBO, which puts other film products on there, Netflix puts other film products on there, and God knows Netflix need it, but we'll come to that in a bit. And I think
I know Craig Robinson now. Hot Tub Time Machine. That's what you should have said. I've known him too.
So yeah, I think it's interesting times. But anyway, we'll get on with the main bit of the show, guys. Thank you for joining us. As I said, I haven't seen much this week. Have you watched anything this week, Dave?
I started watching Russian Doll.
Yeah,
I watched about 5 episodes of that.
5 episodes.
Yeah, I was a bit tired yesterday, so I just left it playing. So I don't know if I watched 5 episodes or not.
Well, that second season started. That got quite good reviews on the first season, and I think the actress from that is going to be in a new director. Is being given the Star Wars film to do, I believe, if my memory serves me right. Now, in terms of this week, obviously a few trailers dropped. We had Doctor Strange last week, which looked rather good, but we've your favorite film franchise dropped its logo this week, Dave. Fast and Furious, new logo.
Is it just going to be a cross?
Yeah, they're going on Roman numerals now.
Oh, I thought no, as in his cross, Dom's cross that he wears around his neck.
No, that would be too easy. That's
If you just put that as a cross, it'd still be put it sideways. It'd be a 10.
I don't know if you can use crucifixes like that in advertising and it not be a horror film without vampires.
Okay, cool.
But who knows? I think it's going to be Fast and Furious X. So, and apparently everybody's coming back for this.
But then there was no number 3.
What do you mean?
Well, it was just called Tokyo Drift.
No, wasn't Tokyo Drift Fast and Furious
3.
2, and then it was number 3. Well, it was number 3. It may not have been called that.
But it doesn't say 3. It just says Tokyo Drift. It never had it didn't have a number or symbol.
I'm not gonna fight him. I'm not fighting Dom over this.
So,
it's all about family. I am good.
Then, surely Hobbs and Shaw's class is one of the things, so it'd be number 11.
No, because that was
doing a Star Wars thing like Rogue One, yeah. Okay.
Off.
Like Rogue One and Han Solo movie.
It was a spin off, and I don't think they're going to get any more Hobbs and things anymore. After because I want nothing to do with.
No, I think he doesn't want anything to do with Van Diesel. I don't think it's anything to do with the franchise.
It's a shame. Those two could have been a really good team up on a movie, but I guess it's never going to happen. Really.
Well, they did. They done a couple. They didn't like each other.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But that dropped, and I think filming has also begun. I know I've shown Fast and Furious a lot of hate in the past, and I'll continue to do in the future, but I will always go and give it a chance, okay? I will never accuse Fast and Furious of not at least being...
Jason Momoa's the bad guy in the new one.
Entertaining. Yeah, and so it's got that, and Bree's making an appearance as well.
And so someone from the Suicide Squad, apparently.
Suicide Squad. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm like that film's going to attract a lot of people. It's a final. Apparently, it's the final one. Again, I wouldn't put money on that. And talking of franchises that have gone on well past this holiday, Expendables. I saw a poster for Expendables today.
Yeah.
And its title was "They'll Stop When They're Dead."
Yeah, that's right. I love the Expendables. That's another one I really love. Because it brings out all the old action movie heroes from the 80s. I love it.
I like that aspect of it. I'm not gonna lie, but I only ever really
and it brings them all together because then you used to hear stories of them hating each other and stuff like that, and then they're all in these movies together.
They do still hate each other, but their abilities to be action heroes, like people demand a lot more of their movies. Like I could criticize Fast and Furious all I want, but its theme about families, everybody remembers. So it's all about the family. Everybody remembers that from Fast and Furious, right?
Everyone just likes the action. That's what it is.
No, but it's got a lot of heart in it too. Yeah, there is some emotional depth to it. So when somebody dies, it's like, no,
because they've been with each other for 10 bloody
and films. How you do that is that in itself the last 10 movies with the same cast.
Well, no, because she was only in it a little for what 7. Michelle Rodriguez. She left after the first one, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then came back.
Yeah.
Charlize has only done a couple.
But Vin's been there from the start.
No, because he missed 2.
He missed 1. Did he miss 2? Because I thought
he had a cameo in
Tokyo.
He had a cameo in Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. And then what else did he miss? Did he miss was he in the 4th one? He must have been, because that was when everybody started coming back.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Do you know what? We'll look into.
It's been too many.
But yeah, it's very interesting, that one. Actually, we'll look into that. See if Vin Diesel, who's been in every single film apart from Vin Diesel, because I know they brought back the guy from Tokyo Drift in the last one with his rocket propelled car that in reality would have.
And Lil Bow was in Tokyo Drift as well. Yeah. They brought him back.
So yeah, 10 should be interesting. I know that Adam Brie Larson.
I don't think anyone's been in all 10.
No, that could be a good point. So the most have been in this.
The only one would have been the guy that died.
He was in the first. Well, he was in the first and the second.
But then he wasn't in the third one either because it was all based
No,
over
yeah.
a different character. So
Okay. Well, that one could, in a way, be considered a spin-off, couldn't it?
yeah, I suppose so.
But they weren't saving the world. It was just an argument over like kids at school, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
School fight. Yeah.
Let's just do some drift racing instead.
Right.
Instead of drag racing.
Moving on. I don't know why. Did I put this story in there? Ben Affleck.
All the stories in there this week.
Did I? Ben Affleck and Matt Damon apparently re-teaming, which I don't think they've done a film together since. Was it the
Dogma?
No, they did it with Dogma. I think Dogma was the last time they had actually done a film together, because Good Will Hunting came before Dogma, didn't it?
Good Will Hunting was their first film.
Yeah. No, that was Morats. Oh no, it was their first film together. But Ben
They wrote
Affleck
it, didn't
was
they?
Morats.
They wrote Good Will Hunting, didn't they?
They claim they did. I read a book that states they clearly did not. And the reason why I read this book, and I believe this book, is because they've never written a film since.
Oh,
And
they
Good
don't
Will
have
Hunting,
to.
no, Good Will Hunting is the type of film that if you wrote that, you'd definitely write another script. So I don't think although their names may be on that script, I think that from what it was described to me.
You know what? It might have been based on the book, and they wrote the script from the book.
No. What I heard, what the writer in the book told me was this: they did write a script, but it was more like an action film than what Good Will Hunting ended up being. So they did write a script, but it was more like spies and all the rest of it, and people getting shot. But yeah, Ben Affleck. The first time I saw Ben Affleck in was Morats, when he was a lot bigger lad. Do you remember him in Morats? Do you remember Morats?
Kind of remember it. Shannon Dockett was in that one, wasn't she?
Yeah, and Ben Affleck's the one where he's a store owner, and he ends up getting done in the end for doing a bit of Jimmy Savile with a young girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I remember saw of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first time I saw Affleck. But yeah, him and Matt Damon are going to reunite for Amazon Studios, and they're going to apparently the movie will follow real-life sneaker salesman Sonny Vaccaro as he tries to sign Michael Jordan to the brand, which gave us
Michael
the
Jordan?
legendary story of the Jordans, the Nike Jordans.
No, because I'm watching this program about the LA Lakers on Sky at the moment. It's called The Rise and Fall of the LA Lakers.
Oh, that's another show you're watching.
And they approached Magic Johnson first, but he signed for Converse instead because his manager told him to.
Okay.
So they could have been called Nike Air Magics. Just remember that.
Yeah. That's really quite interesting. See, Dave, right, ladies and gentlemen, so you know this, right? I speak to Dave before we do the show, right? And Dave goes to me, I ain't watched shit. I ain't watched none, right? I didn't get out. I went out on my bike, I ride up the road, I come back home, yeah? And now I'm in my shed waiting for your lazy ass to come turn on the cameras, right? And then we get in the show, and Dave's like, yeah, I watched this really good. What? Stop doing that to me. I like the surprise, but come on, you watch.
Because I forget, you know me, I'm a bit docile when it comes to things like that.
I'm going to buy you a notepad. In fact, I've got a notepad. I'm going to send it. I'm going to bring it to your house and a pen. Which next
I won't
time
write in it. I've got two empty ones up here.
Well, can you start writing them when you see, or just take your phone out and go, today I watched this show. Or at least when you're watching TV, text me, yeah?
Oh, what? I'm watching this shit.
Yeah, just text me the show you're seeing, right? And then we've got an entire show to review. I'll watch that this evening, and then if we've got time, we can review next show. But yeah, you clearly are watching a lot of TV that you do enjoy. So yeah, they're doing that film. I think that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon went in together. They're quite good. Ben Affleck's had a very rough run, especially when he decided he wanted to be Batman. And now I guess he's going back to the drama. And this sounds like a very catchy, fast-moving movie, hopefully. And yeah, I'd watch that. I mean, I was never a massive trainer fan, but even I knew about Nike Jordans. What about you, Dave? Is that something that interests you all?
No, not really. I only own 12 pairs of Jordans.
I'll take that as a yes. But that's one of the things I think. I think even now, Jordan's still are a popular trainer brand, and I think Nike, God knows how many billions they made. I know it made Michael Jordan a lot of money. So that's
I've got 2 pairs upstairs I've never worn because I brought them for like 150 quid. And then you look at them, you look on the stock exchange thing, and they're like worth 300 and something. You're like, hold on, I don't really want to wear them. People are going to rob my shoes off my feet. Or why would I wear a £300 pair of trainers or £400 pair of trainers? It's like I brought them to wear, and then suddenly the value skyrockets, and you're like, well, I'm not going to wear them out. Get them all mashed up for no reason.
How much are they worth now? Have you checked?
Well, one's £365 and one's like 420.
Actually, we probably shouldn't tell people.
They're in a box if anyone wants to buy them.
No, they're in a Dave, they're in a safe. They're in a safe place, not in your house. Stop. I don't want the boys from Bossk to be the reason that you don't own those trainers.
I've got an axe. It's fine.
Okay, cool. And a large dog.
And a large dog. And a couple of guns. It's fine.
Okay. So where was I? We were here. So that's a new film, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. I was talking about Sony and Paramount. They've been the big powerhouses in terms of cinema this year. But I do think Sony.
Yeah, but then you got to remember nothing's been released yet.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They took advantage of that. Like a lot of studios ran away from putting stuff out. But again, if you look at the biggest movies, they weren't particularly good movies either, or that stand out great movies. Obviously, we ended the last year with Spider-Man: No Way Home, which was a huge success for Sony, especially. Sony's, according to
you say that, but Warner Brothers released Batman.
Yeah, but even that made a lot of money for them. But Sony and Paramount end up still top dogs because apparently at this point in 2021, Sony and Paramount represented only 5% of the market. They now represent 46% of all domestic revenue in the States. So that's a massive turnaround for them. And again, I think it's because of the streaming services. Disney didn't release a lot of stuff in terms of. They released films in the cinema, but Disney didn't release a lot of films that I think they should have released.
They haven't released anything yet.
No, because it's been going out into streaming for the most part, or it's been,
What films have actually come out on the streaming? Turning Red.
I think that in Canto, Turning Red definitely could have been released in the cinema, and I'm surprised they didn't. And in Canto, which I think has been number 1 on streaming services for 3 months. I think is it in Canto?
That came out before Christmas.
Yeah, that definitely should have been released in the cinema.
That's getting released in the cinema, though, isn't it?
I think they're going to bring it back out, but it won't make near as much money as it could have once it's been on streaming. I think Sony, as much as I wasn't a big fan of it last year, they did well with Uncharted, and this year they've released Sonic the Hedgehog 2, both films that made a lot of money. And they continue to. I think so.
They've dominated because they've released those 2 films and Spider-Man.
Yeah, and especially Sonic. I think in Uncharted they released them at times when a lot of other films weren't being released.
So they've released one a month.
Yeah, and have done really well out of it. So I think good on them. Paramount, I was surprised by, but their streaming service is slightly different from other streaming services. It's not releasing brand new stuff on there. They're just putting
it's not out yet, is it?
TV shows. So the Star Trek's a big corner of that, which is another reason I think Netflix has lost money, at least in the States and abroad, because Star Trek's all going to be in Paramount. There'll be no more Star Trek anywhere else but on a Paramount Plus, which is breaking my heart. And they've got their franchises, although they haven't been huge critical hits, they've definitely hit with the audience. So Stargate, that's a massive revenue for them down in the road. And I think
if they re-release it.
No, I think they'll as new product. I think going forward, I think you might see Paramount come out as one of the big boys. It's going to be a very competitive market, especially if Netflix has peaked. That's not a good sign for other streaming services. That means there's a limit to how much people will actually people will put into streaming services.
Well,
But
I think because of conditions of living and everything now, people ain't going to keep paying this £5 for this, £10 for that, £7 for that.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I totally agree with you. And believe me, I don't always agree with Dave, but on this, I will.
I worked
agree
out
with
my
you.
bills, right? They've gone from like £100
Mm.
on the streaming side and TV. Sky alone now is £150 a month.
What?
But that includes
How's
that includes Disney and Netflix already.
Yeah, but still, how's that?
Well, that's because of the broadband and telephone.
Oh,
line.
but you mean your entire package? But in terms of
It's
streaming,
still £150 a month.
Yeah, but
right? And then you got Amazon at £80 a year.
Okay.
On top of that,
Yeah.
And then Paramount wants to release stuff as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna get too much. Am I missing one somewhere? Apple, another one, £20 a month.
Yeah, but again, I think the advantage that we have is again we do the thing that I think you can do with a lot of the streaming services. You cancel. I'm surprised people don't take more advantage of that.
And there's more out there, like Stars and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I cancelled my Apple, and I'll go back when the show like Ted comes back, or C comes back, whichever comes first. But personally, I'm of the opinion that people should start taking advantage of the fact that you literally aren't in a contract for these streaming services. You do it by the month, you cancel it off, and then come back when it's more.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go, right, I'm just gonna have Netflix this month, and cancel it at the end of the month and start another one.
Because, but we'll get back to that in a bit deeply. Let me just wrap up some of the news. I'm getting like Dave. You're a witness to this. Yeah, I'm not Zack Snyder's biggest fan.
Is anyone?
I'm not, and I give Snyder a hard time sometimes. I although his products are usually very visually stunning, I find them to be like not very deep.
Dune-esque.
Huh?
Dune-esque.
Yeah.
They're like Dune. Very good plot. Really bad story. Graphically, visually good.
Yeah, and it pulls you out of it. And I don't know how you feel about it, Dave, but I'm very much like I feel like that with all this stuff. Even Watchmen, when I watched Watchmen, there was something missing from it. It didn't have any heart, It didn't have enough depth to it as a product. And although it was a great watch, and I think Watchmen's probably his best product up to date, I still don't need to go back and watch it. I don't think I've watched Watchmen again since the first time I watched it. And that god awful sex scene as well. Then there was that Sucker Punch, which I say to people, Sucker Punch is a terrible film, right? Because of the message that it's putting out there.
Yeah, but visually it's good.
Yeah, visually amazing, but narratively appalling. But I'm
actually looking at his films now, and I've actually ever seen any of them, and that'd be enough.
and that's the problem with them. And I'm not saying Zack Snyder is a bad. I don't want to put out there that I think he's a bad filmmaker. I think he's a good filmmaker visually, but he needs somebody like, I don't know. He just needs
someone to tell the story for him.
A bit more depth. Yeah, a bit more depth to his stuff, because he's most famous for 300, which, well, before Justice League, he was most famous for 300, which was every lad's favorite film, which I'm sure you didn't get ribbed for liking in the pub, Dave. But I just found the whole thing historic.
Did I actually watch it?
I think everybody watched it at some point.
I think I kind of watched it. It might have been a pirate copy though.
I think, yeah. So, but I don't hate him, and I think
because that was like one of the first green screen films, wasn't it? It's very digital.
But what's interesting, like his up and coming projects, of which there's a lot. He's got, I think, there's an Army of the Dead TV series coming, and then another Planet of the Dead. There's but what I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon. Now apparently he wrote Zack Snyder would suit Star Wars quite a bit. Rebel Moon, they just put some pictures down from it and it looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. It looks really gritty sci-fi. They've got the usual tropes. There's deserts in there. There's desert here and there.
I can say this now. This could be his one.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
Yeah. It
you
looks gorgeous.
If you've done 10 films, you're going to have one good film somewhere, aren't you?
It's got a fantastic cast. But he's still doing that thing that I don't like that Zack Snyder does.
Film it in the dark.
He always has one token black guy in all his films.
Yeah, but at least it's the guy that got sacked from the Justice League.
You can have more than one black guy. It's okay. You can have literally pop another black guy in your film. It's all right. We'll love you for it. Yeah. But saying that, this cast does look impressive, and it's got I keep pronouncing his name incorrectly, but it's Dijon Hansu, and you know him and remember him from Guardians of the Galaxy. You'll know him from Aragon. Big, beautiful black man who should be leading in his own films. He was in The Gentleman. He trained up the son. Do you remember it? The only black guy in the film. Come on. Do you remember him, Dave?
What are you on about? What are you on about? Sorry. I switched off. You were talking about Zack Snyder.
Oh my God, how you're so cool to me. But anyway, this is
there is another black guy. You got the guy that played Cyborg. He's in it.
In Justice League, yes. No, he's not in Rebel Moon. I haven't seen him.
He's in that. I swear I read it. He's in that.
I haven't seen him on the cast list at all. Not here anyway. He might be in it. I just haven't seen him on the cast list yet.
That's because you're on the movie database, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know they're like. It's probably uncredited at the bottom.
But the photos for this look amazing, and according to rumor, it's Netflix's biggest budget film ever. So I'm hoping this does the business.
Oh, the guy from Armistead you're talking about.
Yeah, if you like Armistead, that'll work.
That was his first major film.
What was?
Armistead.
Was it his first?
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's done very well since then. I mean, he's a really good actor. And I just wish he was the leading man in something at some point.
Well, he was in Armistead.
Yeah, but that was Armistead.
Because everyone was like, wow, the size of that beast.
He's an imposing figure, but he's a really good actor.
He was the main character in Blood Diamond.
No,
apart from Leo.
Leonardo. Come on, man. Nobody's a star apart from Leonardo. What about you, Dave? Is it something that excites you? I know you're a Star Wars fan. This was a rejected idea by Lucasfilm, and there's not much information about it. Like I said, I've dropped this out there. But the only
are they allowed to use the name Rebel Moon then?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm liking it. I'm excited about it. I don't know why.
I don't know,
and I hope it doesn't disappoint.
I'd like to get excited about it, but no, not at the moment.
But
I got excited about Dune, and I watched that, and that was 3 hours wasted.
Really? You must have been the only man alive that got excited about Dune.
Well, I thought it was going to be really good because of the cast. And then
I'm like Dune.
It's one of those films that the cast is massive and the film's just terrible.
Yeah.
I hate films like that.
Yeah. Well,
it happens, I suppose.
No, honestly, that's really good. If you did, I just never. I'm not Dune. Yeah, I'm. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be hit and miss, isn't it? It's going to be like, what category is this film going to go into? Is it going to go into Dune? That's bad. Star Trek, that's okay. Or Star Wars, that's the best. You know?
I'm hoping it spanks Star Wars. I really am, because, like I said, I still can't forgive them for what they did to Finn, John Boyega. That film's literally.
Oh, I can.
I can't. Ray. That was
but you say that, but that guy is just annoying anyway.
Only because of that.
He's trying to be Denzel, and he's not going to be Denzel, man. Sorry.
No, he's not. He's just being John Boyega.
No, he's trying to be Denzel.
It's just being John.
Motherfucker.
And right, so that's Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it doesn't fail. me, but I'm liking the idea of it. It looks really gorgeous. It looks really sumptuous, and I hope.
And how many
Netflix
years
doesn't-
was the budget on this one?
It was high. I've had no official estimates on budgets, but from what I'm hearing, it's their most expensive film.
It's gonna be the first $1 billion movie. Is that what it's gonna
No,
be?
I reckon.
Probably.
I reckon in terms of budget, I reckon you're probably looking about the 200, 300 million mark for Netflix. I think they'd probably put that much down on it. But I wouldn't say more.
It'll be a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but it's a
That's
big
if they're
budget.
that's if they're still going once he's finished doing it.
Of course they will. What else is there? Apparently, Werewolf by Night Disney Plus special, which is coming out, I assume October, Halloween, has wrapped filming. Werewolf by Night, I find to be a very strange character. I think it might connect with Moon Knight in some way. Obviously, the moon, werewolves, all that. But if anybody knows about Werewolf by Night, it's a very obscure character. I only saw it a few times, and it was a character whose name was Jack Russell, who every full moon would turn into a werewolf.
There is a Jack Russell that turns into a wolf.
Yeah, no, his name was Jack Russell, and he turned
Yeah,
into
but
a
you
werewolf.
know what I mean? It's a breed of dog is Jack Russell, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
I'm assuming they're going to change the name at some point, or like
what,
Disney
to
aren't gonna-
Labradoodle.
Yeah, Jack Stevenson, Jack Whittiman. But we'll see how that goes. I think Werewolf by Night, it's an obscure character, but I think it plays into the whole horror concept that Marvel's trying to go for, and like that should be out in October. It wrapped filming now, so they've got time to edit that shit, get it out there.
Yeah.
Jack Russell, yeah,
Jack Russell.
full moon. But yeah, I know. Did we reviewed the last when we did the last show on a Wednesday, didn't we? So we reviewed the last episode of Moon Knight.
The Wednesday?
Knight, did we?
No.
No, we didn't. All right. So before we do that, just one more news story. The Mummy director called Tom Cruise's film his biggest failure, and so he should, because if we remember the Mummy was meant to be the second film to launch the Monsters universe, which was meant to include the likes of Dracula, the Mummy, Werewolf, Wolfman, Frankenstein, and all those types of, and it was so bad it destroyed that. I remember seeing posters for the
I don't
Dark
think I've
Universe.
seen it.
It's a bad film in every way possible, and it's not bad. The action's good.
So it's not a reboot of the original Mummy films.
It is and it isn't, because it made reference to the actual Mummy films that we had during the 90s. It makes clear reference to them,
Okay.
but it doesn't make it clear that it's referring to.
Does it bring out the Rock's
You remember the book, like the Necronomicon, the book they had, the Book of the Dead?
Yeah. Yeah.
They bring that out, and it's in one of the scenes. So
but didn't they have that in Van Helsing?
No, that was the Van Helsing was Van Helsing the same studio as well?
I think so.
They don't make any reference to Van Helsing though.
No, but I meant like the book. They used the same book. They had a book as well, didn't they?
Yeah, did they?
Yeah, if I remember right. They had some sort of book.
It was just a shame. The film flopped really heavily. It had one of the best trailers of the year though, which was when they're in the plane and the whole side of it opens up and they're getting dragged out. That was great. I really enjoyed
to Mission Impossible, yeah.
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 But the problem with the film,
I might give it a go then.
It was called The Mummy, but it was actually Tom Cruise. And it was all about Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise ends up, I won't spoil the ending, but Tom Cruise gives himself one of the Dark Universe creature roles at the end, but it's not the Wolfman, if that's what you're thinking. But
it's gonna be Frankenstein because he's so short.
No. And it
He's
had
gonna wear those big boots.
Russell Crowe in it as well, who nobody would ever accuse of character acting, of method acting in it, and he's just Russell Crowe's in it. But I'd say watch it, give it a shot. It's not, the action scenes are really, really good. It's just not It makes no sense by the time you get to the end of it. And
Most
if
films.
but give it a shot. And that's that. That's our news and stories for the week. There was one issue that's come up over the past week, which isn't, it's dear to our hearts. Netflix, for the first time ever in its run of what, 10 years or so, first time ever it lost 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think it's quite poor now. And last time it went poor, I didn't have it for 2 years and then got it back.
Yeah, but I think the big difference
Because
is
you
it's
literally
never...
watch everything and then it starts getting rubbish. They start producing rubbish shows that you haven't watched and you're like, oh, what is this? Because they're putting all their money in these big budget films and half of them are bad.
So you haven't liked any of the big... There haven't been that many big... You haven't liked
There's
any
been
of the
quite a
big...
lot. There's been quite a lot. But they're mediocre. They're not like, oh, yeah, I've got to watch that again. They're just... it's a film.
What type of film would you watch again, though? Do you know what I mean? It's like I get what you're saying, and I agree. A lot of their films, as much as I enjoyed the Adam Project,
You ain't gonna watch it again, are you?
No, it was a very light.
And the Jamie Foxx film that came out the year before.
Which one was that?
Is it Underground 6 or something like that?
No, that
the
was
one where you had the superpowers.
That was the superhero project.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
It was.
I can't remember what it was called. See,
yeah.
But that was an okay film when I watched it, but I don't think I'd go back and watch it again. Extraction. I won't watch that again, even though they're making a second one.
Extraction.
It's okay. It's mediocre. Bird Box was utter shit.
I never watched Bird Box.
Mate, that got reviews everywhere. Oh, you must watch this. Da, da, da. I watched it and I thought, oh my god, I've just watched the worst film I've ever seen in my life.
Though. It's a horror. Is it a horror?
It's not even a horror, mate. It's just boring.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Bad. No, you don't. I'll
get it out of the way. Look, if you've watched it,
out of the way, you would have done it by now, mate.
No, if you've done it, I will make myself do it.
Yeah, that Will Smith film. I haven't watched that again. That came out originally, like one of Netflix first.
Right.
Yeah, that was one of the big films.
No, that got really bad. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
I didn't mind it, but I would never watch it again.
I agree that they're really light, and hopefully with Rebel Moon things will change, because I think these light movies. I don't know how these. No, well, actually, we've had this discussion before.
Red Notice is the same. That was okay.
I don't know how Netflix puts their money out, but far too many of their film projects were being told they're high budget, but they don't look it. And especially
look at your mate Zack Snyder's film. Would you watch that again? Army of the Dead?
Well,
the story on that was terrible.
Maybe if it was it's horrendous.
And then I watched the one about the Code Breaker. I won't watch that again either.
I haven't watched that yet because I didn't like Army of the Dead that much.
It wasn't too bad because there's no zombies.
Yeah,
so it's just his story, but it wasn't too bad. I won't watch it again.
No, but that's
not like,
I think
you know what I mean. It's no like.
Yeah, but it's. I'll say this: is the rewatchability, because we have it there. We don't need to watch these things anymore.
I don't know, because you still sit down and watch 80s and 90s movies, won't you?
Yeah, but since I've got Disney Plus, right? Disney Plus now has some of the movies that made me growing up. Yeah, they defined my growing up time.
Yeah, but Netflix has some of them.
I haven't watched them. Like I've hardly watched. I think I've watched Star Wars less.
I've watched Star Wars less. I've watched it less.
Now it's on, isn't it?
But then there's other stuff, like you said.
All these things that are. Yeah, but is it due to the fact there is so much availability? Like before we had streaming services, how many shows would you consider really great shows in a year? Do you know what I mean? It would have been maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3, maybe 4.
But back then you waited that whole year for that show to come back on.
Yeah.
Now it's like every 4 months, and then they bung it all out at once.
Yeah, but
so you watch it within less than a week.
Like a coke addict.
And then you want more, and it comes back on. You're like, oh, this is rubbish. I don't want to watch it now.
Yeah, but I think that's maybe what the problem is, because
it's too much too soon.
It's too much on there, They never take any of it off. Like, I'm surprised Netflix doesn't go.
What I
right,
like about Disney, they do it weekly. And if
Yeah.
it's a really crap show, they just throw it all on.
Hmm.
If it's a good show, they will do it weekly. And I think
Hmm.
that's the best way to do it.
Very disappointing.
Amazon do like 2 episodes a week on certain
Sometimes.
things.
Yeah.
But that's a good way of doing it, especially if it's,
But
not
Amazon's
all at once.
Amazon's a much more edgier TV. And I think for me at the moment, in terms of consistency, Amazon with stuff like The Boys, which I could gladly go back and watch again. Or what else was it? Their Vox Machina. They're a lot more edgier. Yeah, they feel they don't have a lot of good stuff on there, but when they do have good stuff, it's good stuff. Like Invincible.
Yeah, but Preacher was good when that first came out on Amazon.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons were
just dragged after that.
It was the second season, when they were in New Orleans. That for some reason slowed the pace down so much, and they were trying to tell a touching story about the vampire dude and his son who wasn't a vampire. They were actually trying to tell a touching story, and you just end up sitting there being, your son's a git. Why do we have to experience how much of a git his son is as well? And I think that was part of the problem with that. It slowed the pace of the story down so much that by third season they rushed everything.
And then you got your favorite, The Expanse.
You may not like The Expanse, but The Expanse, I had to say, is probably the best sci-fi that we've had in a generation. It really did stand out. It really did have this really good.
Maybe if I get past the first season, it might get better.
You don't have to. Like I said, we don't have to.
I will fight it to the very end.
I don't want to put you, babe. I don't want to put you. Honestly, I think us having different tastes is important.
So, what do you think of Outer Range?
I am going to watch the next 2 episodes tonight.
Oh, so you've only done the first 2 episodes?
Yeah, it's about it feels a bit too much like Lost, and I'll tell you why. If I found a time warping hole on my land, I wouldn't do what this character does with it, and everybody just keeps doing the wrong thing again and again and again in the first 2 episodes. So at the moment, I'm not into it, but I'm liking the fact that it's not. It's not like any other sci-fi I've ever seen, and I'll at least give it a couple of more episodes before I go, I'm not doing this. Just as I did with Lost. My issue with Lost wasn't the ending, like a lot of people. My issue with Lost is it keeps playing tricks on your audience. Like the writers are the smartest people in the world. And what did it pay off with? Oh, they were all dead. I'm like, that to me is just that's.
No, but I find that really funny because that's like the old Dallas thing from the 80s when Bobby Ewing was dead and it was all a dream.
Yeah. And so yeah, I'm very much not into I'm gonna give it a few more episodes and then maybe up to episode 6.
I'll tell you what you should watch. I watched it just after not long ago. It was Wolf Like Me. Isla Fisher. Isla Fisher and the guy that played Olaf in Frozen.
Yeah, it keeps popping up on my thing, but I haven't watched it yet.
You know what? It's only like 6 episodes. It's 30 minutes an episode. You can watch the whole season in a couple of days. And it's actually okay. It's not like the best in the world, but it's okay.
I'll give it a shot. I just haven't.
It's quite funny because they're both comedians, really, aren't they?
So busy that I haven't had a chance to, and it's like one of those shows that I probably should give it a go. One show I haven't given it a go, and I probably never will, is Outlander. But
Outlander.
I'm just not there with that show
What's
at
that
the moment,
on?
but we shall see.
Is that on Amazon?
That's on Stars now. It used to be on Amazon, now they moved on to Stars.
I haven't got Stars.
Yeah, I'm not going to get that until Pennyworth comes back. Pennyworth is the only show.
You know what? I only watched the first episode of the second season. I haven't watched it. I should get into that.
Pennyworth's the only show I'll watch on Stars. I might watch the Godfather of Harlem because I've been seeing clips of it, and the acting in that looks superb. It sort of reminds me of the what's the gangster one that everybody loves, The Sopranos. It reminds me of how deep and emotional The Sopranos are to a degree. Where are we time-wise, ladies and gentlemen? Because me and Dave, we love to talk. Right, we've still got time. So,
considering we had nothing to talk about, we've done well today.
Let me give you a few quick rundowns of the stuff I've been watching this week for you nerds out there. because obviously I'm the only one who watches any anime on this, and I love my anime. I finished.
I'm not a
I
child.
finished my Ultraman and Pacific Black. So Ultraman, I wrapped up that. In terms of a show, it's got some adult themes in it, but it is very. It feels like an all boys kids show, which I wasn't expecting it to be like. And the animation, I think, is not as good as it should be, and the plotting. I don't know. If you're into giant monsters wrecking cities, go for it. It's not like
So
a
have you
tea.
watched Pacific Rim yet?
Yes, Pacific Rim Black, the anime that they bring out, the second season's dropped, and I think it suffers from the same problem that a lot of other animators have with Netflix. It feels so rushed. They drop like 6 different plot lines in from the first season, add a couple of more, and wrap it up in about 8 episodes. The animation was starts to drift, but it felt like there were going to be some heavy plot lines in it. And just so you understand how rushed it is, they introduced a character that they've been speaking about for 2 episodes, called I think he's called the Monster Man, and he helps people. He helps monsters.
No,
and
not the
people
Monster Man.
And he's in it literally for 1 episode, and that's it. And he doesn't come to a good end. And I was just like, this is rushed. What's going
That's
on?
what you call a build-up, eh?
So I don't know what happened now. I don't know if Netflix went, you know what, we've got to wrap this up. It's done. But it definitely left a lot of strings hanging. And I don't know what part this will play in any future Pacific Rim films. In fact, I don't know. It's Pacific Rim. Who owns that one? It's Lionsgate, I think. So yeah, I think it could have been a lot better, and it ends up being very
I
disappointing.
don't know. I don't think they'll make any more Pacific Rim films.
Well, after the last one, I honestly don't blame them as much as it was a terrible film. It took away from the seriousness, if you will, of the first one, and turned it into a much more of a kids movie.
I think the first one was a major blockbuster, wasn't it? And the
Yeah.
second one was just like,
which
the big
which
characters
is,
died.
for me, a bit of a shame. The other thing I watched is Family X, which is the latest Japanese anime. You can get it on Crunchyroll. Dave won't like it, but it tells the story of a little girl who gets adopted by a spy. She's got psychic powers. Her adopted dad doesn't know this, and it just leads to copious amounts of hijinks. I quite enjoy it. It's very touching. It's very sweet. But that would be my anime recommendation for the week. In terms of comic books,
But what, you haven't watched Star Trek?
the animated Star Trek.
Yeah.
No, what
The
Picard?
new one. No.
Oh, the anime. No, it's not out yet.
It is.
No, it's not.
It's on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I don't have access to Nickelodeon, bro.
Oh.
At least I don't.
I do. I was going to watch it today, and I thought, nah.
I might do. If it's on thing, then I might do. But I don't think I've got access to anything that's on Nickelodeon.
It might be on your Now
Which is a
TV.
great shame. I'll check it out. If I do, you're not going to see me for a week.
No, because they'll do what they did with Rebels. They put it on weekly.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Oh no, they didn't have Rebels, did they? That was Disney XD.
Yeah. I'm definitely, but yeah, there's a lot of in terms of comic books, guys. I haven't been reading that many comic books this week, but I did read was it Captain Carter issue #1 that's out. Apparently she's getting her own TV series after it's going to be announced after Multiverse of Madness. So I'm really looking forward to that because Captain Carter, so much Carter coming our way. But yeah, that's something else to look forward to. I think that's it. I don't think we talked about what would you want if Netflix, right, was to keep you, Dave, right? Because it sounds like they're going to lose you. What's the one type of show you would want? And you can't have Rebel Moon because that's mine.
No, because there is been things that I have liked. I've liked Ozark. I've liked Witcher. I've liked Vikings. Yeah. Sex Education was good.
Yeah.
Russian Doll, very.
You know, 5 episodes. You don't have to.
Yeah. I'm. It's in my maybe sort of category, just like Moon Knight, and because I'm halfway through the season, I'm not sure. But I don't hate it to turn it off.
Yeah.
You know, But Lock and Key, second season, I turned that off after a couple of episodes. Raising Dion, I turned off after a couple of episodes. Titans, I turned off, even though I really liked the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
Cobra Kai, I watched all of them, and I don't know why, because they're just crap. But you just want to go back for more, and I don't know why.
I think because of our loyalty to Mr. Miyagi, and
Yeah, but he's not in it, he's dead.
Exactly. No, I think the 80s were a great time, and the show's really cheesy, but the first season was really cheesy, but it wasn't bad episode to watch or anything. It was still quite entertaining.
Yeah, because it was similar to the films.
Yeah, the second season I've just found a bit like.
What are we on now?
cheesy.
Season 4, 5?
Well, the second season on Netflix.
No, they've all been on Netflix.
No, but
I think it's like 5 seasons in. Something stupid like that.
Is it?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Cobra Kai. Oh, turn the Wi-Fi off.
Because the first season was on YouTube, then they moved it over to Netflix.
Oh, yeah, the first 2 seasons were on YouTube, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember now.
But yeah, and I know, we'll see. I think some
But they do have 4 seasons on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, because the 3rd and 4th season have been on Netflix, haven't they? But I don't know. I think I'm done with that. And film-wise, like I said with the films earlier, it's like they're very chalk and cheese. You don't go back for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, and some of the series that you have watched, they were on other channels beforehand.
Yeah,
like Queen of the South.
A lot of their popular stuff has been on other channels. My friend,
But Space Force, I didn't even get through the first episode of the second season.
I haven't finished the first season. I will give my favorite show on Netflix at the moment is The Last Kingdom. I know you're not a big fan of it, but it had its finale.
I don't think I think I went to watch it once, and I thought because Vikings was on at the time, I couldn't get into both at the same time.
That's fair enough.
So now I might go back and watch it.
No. If you're gonna watch anything first, Expanse, and but yeah. I think having different tastes is fine. The Last Kingdom is one of my favorite shows.
But if everyone liked everything, there'd be less out, wouldn't there? But if you look at that top 10 of stuff that's out now, it's like Taboo, and it's like, come on, man, that was on BBC One 4 years ago.
Yeah, but I think that's because of the international nature of Netflix, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like because it's.
And I should also tell you if things are like not American or English, that they're dubbed on the screen instead of you going into it. Because then it comes up, you might like this, and it's like, come on, man.
I don't do dubbed.
No, it annoys me because their lips are moving and nothing's coming out.
No, I'm very much. I'm okay. I want to see Netflix up their game. I think
they do need to up their game and bring out better stuff. Longer than 10 episodes a thing as well. It's like 8 to 10 episodes is just not enough if you're throwing it all at once, because that's a weekend binge.
Yeah. And
then there's nothing again for another year. In some cases, 3 years because of COVID.
Yeah. You got straight.
And then we're gonna release those now because what's happened to the Umbrella Academy? Have they finished recording it yet?
Yeah, it's coming out soon. Umbrella is Umbrella's coming out very, very soon. In fact, I think in the next couple of months. And you are right. Star Trek Prodigy is on Nickelodeon. You know what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of hours, eh? Hey! All right.
I don't want to know.
I'm going to be hitting that up for the next couple of hours. Oh, yeah.
Sweet Tooth. When's that coming out? Has that been made? Are they going to make it?
Which one?
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, I think it's in production, without a doubt. Because that, I think... that was such a big. I'm pretty sure that was a massive hit for Netflix. Its ratings.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that from the people or the actual company?
From Rotten Tomatoes, from people.
Well, because you've got two. You've got You've got the green one that's from them, and the red one's from the people.
Yeah. Let's see. Season 1. Right. Nonso. I'm just happy for Nonso, right? Because Nonso is always played. He's the black guy who's the mercenary dude, yeah?
He dies in everything.
Not just that, yeah. He's always playing like an assistant or a buddy to a white kid. He was in Ender's Game. Do you remember he was like the one that goes, "You're never gonna make it."
And he was also the assistant in the vampire thing with what's his face? He was also the assistant in Zoo.
Yeah. See, so it's like, let me see, Sweet Tooth, season 2. And guys, the next couple of weeks we're going to be at the Olympia Comic Con film and TV.
No, it's the big Comic Con.
The big one.
The big
XL.
one.
I thought
XL.
It's going to be a long day. I'm going to have to get myself.
That's going to be it's going to be a hell of a lot day. Take some water.
Find a nice
your
bar
camera
somewhere. Yeah, water. Well, they won't let us take water in, will they? We're going to find a nice bar somewhere as well.
There's plenty of bars.
And
there's plenty of bars in there.
Can we take the
segue?
Yeah. Right. So we don't know what the release date is, but it was renewed in July 2021. So I think it's going to happen, but there's no announcement. Don't know. Very secret. And that's actually the production company is from what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. and his wife.
That was their first major thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you remember that Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, that didn't count.
Didn't do very well. Yeah. Dr. Dolittle. Anyway, we don't talk about Dr. Dolittle. But yeah, that's it. That's all I've got here. We've gone well over the hour now, which is really nice.
That's
but
okay. We went under the hour last week, so we're doing well.
Anything else from you, Big Dave? You looking forward to Comic Con then? You gonna get dressed up?
I'm not gonna dress up, no.
No, you sure?
But never say never. I might find a t-shirt of some sort somewhere.
I might do.
You know,
middle-aged Spider-Man.
Yeah, never say never. We've done fancy dress before, so why not ever again? Why not have a laugh?
We'll see. I'll go get some new trainers because my God, if I'm going to be walking around that place all day. But yeah, that's it, ladies. What 25th of May? That one was it?
What Comic Con?
Yeah,
it's the 27th, 28th, and 29th.
What was the weekend? Is that was a weekday?
There's a weekend
of May.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. And we're going on the 28th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. You sure?
Well, yeah, I've got the tickets upstairs. I've got all 4 of them.
So it's definitely the 25th of May.
28th.
Definitely the 28th.
The Saturday.
Okay, sure.
Definitely. I sent you a picture for God's sake.
No, I'm just double checking, just so I can.
I'm double checking now because you're confusing me.
Well,
28th of May.
You sure it's 28th of May?
Yeah, look.
Okay.
There's the tickets.
Let me double check.
Can you see? Can you see? Look. Look at the screen.
No, I've got you. Just double checking.
It's Saturday, 28th of May, 2022.
All right, cool. Just make sure that I have that off. And no, that's cool. So we're looking forward to that. Join us if you're down there. I have my microphone on me and a camera, but
by himself, because I'll be getting drunk at a bar with cosplay girls.
You're gonna help me. Yeah, like the cosplay girls would be sitting anywhere near a bar. But we're definitely looking forward to it.
And none of them be sitting here at a bar. No one be
At
next to
some
a
point
bar.
at Comic Con in the future, we will have a nice stand there or something, and we'll be interviewing people. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This was the latest episode of the almighty, the world's finest, the Action Comics version of the Boys.
I won't go that far. You really love it, don't you? You hype it up to the max.
Because you got to, man. You go big or you go home, Dave. Yeah, you got to remember this. We don't call you Big Dave because you're tall. It's because you got a big.
Because I can't fit into things.
But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show. Leave your comments, leave your feedback, leave your questions. This is the Boys from Bossk. Good night.
Bye.